President Teddy Roosevelt used the phrase, "Speak softly but carry a big stick." Tonight, more than a century later, Illinois is depending on its own big stick, the statewide Terrorism and Intelligence Center, to gather intel, determine whether there are legitimate threats, and what to do about them.
All the suspicious activity reporting routes through this facility.
There is more suspicious activity than ever before coming into this facility in the long shadow of the state capitol, what's called a fusion center. A synthesis of intelligence experts from state and federal agencies. 24/7, they sift through possible threats from down the street, up in Chicago, and around the world. From threats of hate crime attacks, claims of bombs in public places, the ongoing risk from foreign terror groups, and a fast-spreading plague of domestic lone wolf strikes. From the 4th of July mass shooting at Highland Park's community parade
Chicago emergency
to a daily influx of so-called swatting incidents, fake calls to 911, the big screen maps of incidents across the state and the nation are real-time concerns here.
We've got partners from the Department of Homeland Security, from FBI, Illinois Department of Corrections. The Illinois State Police has a large role here.
And the list goes on. Analysts and experts at the state-funded STIC under the command of Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly.
There's been an increase in threats that are both anti-Semitic and that may be Islamophobic.
Even before the horrendous attack on Israel by Hamas militiamen October 7th, there was a surge in violent threats against Illinois targets, according to Kelly.
Threats to public infrastructure, threats being directed at mosques, at synagogues, at religious institutions, at schools.
For Kelly, threats in the wake of this Israel-Hamas war are personal. While in the U.S. Navy 2 decades ago, he was stationed in Israel and walked the streets of the Palestinian territory, now in ruins.
Many of those communities are communities I've been to and spent time in and know how the people live there, and they have a special place in my heart. I've also been to many of the Palestinian territories, Nablus, Ramallah. I've been to Gaza.
And since October 7th, the threat level has jumped.
We've seen a pretty high, increase in threats to public officials, threats to local places of worship, to local leaders, to local businesses.
And sometimes, many times, the threats are fake, aimed at stirring up public fears. Such a viral hoax from California last month promising violence that was forwarded 4 million times in Illinois and elsewhere. Of most concern, fake social media posts and misinformation. Text messages that may provoke a violence-prone radical. Now is the time to strike.
The big concern, the thing that keeps me up at night, the thing that keeps the FBI and our partners in DHS up at night, as well as local law enforcement, is the lone actor that is inspired by what they're seeing on social media.
Next up, big events for the STIC, a 2024 election cycle that includes back-to-back party political conventions in Chicago and Milwaukee. That really does tax all the local law enforcement agencies within a 100-mile radius.
We're definitely already planning for what is our posture going to be like, where are we going to be, where are we going to have people assigned, all of that. So there'll be a center like this established at the FBI where we will all work together.
Authorities don't know what's real or what is fake until they check it out, and so they investigate all of them, they say. But the public plea from experts is, don't just automatically forward threatening texts or repost menacing social media. Spreading a viral hoax is what causes or spreads public panic. During wartime and a superheated political season, stopping fake threats is almost as important as preventing real ones.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.